All right, Calculus 2, Test 1 review sheet. Integrate our basic thing. We're going to add 1 to the power. So 15x 3 over 3 minus 4x 2 over 2. And the integral of 3 is 3x. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. We have our plus c on the end to indicate that if we took the derivative of some number, it would have been 0. Number 2, the first thing we need to do is rewrite to the 6th on bottom as x to the negative 6. Okay, now we're ready to integrate. Add 1 and divide, so x 7 over 7. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5, so I get x negative 5 over negative 5. The minus negative in the middle becomes add. The x to the negative 5 comes down as x to the positive 5. Number 3, okay, I wrote the assumptions in there. We have understood square root and t to the 1, and we have a cube root of t to the understood 1. Okay, we're going to keep it in the integration symbol because we're just doing some algebra. That becomes t to the 1/2 and t to the 1/3. Now we're ready to integrate. 1/2 plus 1 is 3/2. Divide by 3/2. 1/3 plus 1 is 4/3. Divide by 4/3. Divide by 3 over 2 is times by 2 over 3. Divide by 4 over 3 is times by 3 over 4. Okay, you can put it back in the root. You might need to put it back in the root if you're putting in numbers, but the practice problem just left it as your exponents. Number 4, since the bottom has been divided by one thing, we're going to divide. 4x squared divided by 2x is 2x. 6x divided by 2x is 3. That's still in the integral symbol because we've just done algebra. So we get 2x to the 2 over 2 minus 3x. The 2x squared over 2 becomes x squared. Number 5, we have something raised to a power. So we'll use u substitution. U is going to be what's inside, x cubed minus 10. When you have u, you always have du. So du is the 3x squared dx. Okay, it's always dx. We don't have 3, so we times in 3 and 1/3 to balance it. Okay, what's underlined there, 3x squared dx is du. All of that's du. What's inside is u. So now we integrate 1/3 u to the 4th. So we add 1 and divide, so we get 1/3 u to the 5 over 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Put it back in terms of x. U was x cubed minus 10. Okay, number 6. We have something to a power, so u is going to be what's inside. Du will be 14x dx. I need the 14, so I times in 14, 1 over 14 outside. On top, that 14x dx is all du. On bottom, that's u to the 5th. Okay, still in the integration symbol, I'm going to just rewrite u to the 5th as u to the negative 5. Add 1, I get negative 4 divided by negative 4. Okay, so now I integrated, now it's not in the symbol anymore. 14 times negative 4 is negative 56. Okay, the u to the negative 4 would go down to be u to the positive 4. Or you can leave it as raised to the -4 power, okay? But you've got to take that u and put it back in terms of x. Okay, number 7 is an easy integration, but we have our limits, our definite integral. So we get 5x5 over 5, which is just x5. Plug in the top number first, so 4 to the 5th. Subtract -1 to the 5th. A negative to an odd power is a negative. Subtract a negative equals a positive, plus. So add, and that is your final answer. Okay. Anytime you're integrating a trig function, the angle is your u. So du is 2 dx. We need 2, so we put 1/2 on the outside. Okay. So the 2 in the dx is our du. Sine of 2x becomes sine u. Okay, what's circled there? The 2 in the dx, that's du. Sine of 2x is sine of u. Okay. The integral of sine is cosine, negative cosine. We have our negative on the outside, -1/2. Okay, the integral of sine is negative cosine. Now we have our limits. We're going to plug in pi over 2 first. Okay, that -1/2 will be much easier if you put it on the outside of the brackets and do it at the end. So cosine of 2, plug in pi over 2, minus cosine 2, plug in pi over 4. 2 times pi over 2 is pi. 2 times pi over 4 is pi over 2. Okay, we've got that -1 outside, 1/2 on the outside. We'll make it less messy. Okay. Okay. Pi is right here. So the cosine of pi is the x, which is -1. Pi over 2 is here. So the cosine is 0. -1 minus 0 is -1. Multiply, you get 1/2. Okay. Area between y equals x and y equals x squared. First, we find where they intersect. So set them equal to each other. Since y equals x squared, x has to equal x squared. It's quadratic, so set it equal to 0 minus x on both sides. So I get 0 equals x squared minus x. Okay. Factor out that GCF of x. So x equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. So 0 and 1 are my two places. Okay. I'll make a table. Now, they cross when x is 0 and 1. So I need to find out what they're doing in between 0 and 1, which would be 1/2. So plug in 1/2. If x is 1/2, y is 1/2 for the line. For y equals x squared, the parabola, 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. Okay, so when we graph it, okay, y equals x. Okay, now you want to spread that out. You don't want to do like 0, 1. We need to spread that out so we can see what's higher up. So 1/4, 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, 3/4, 3/4, 1, 1 for our line. Okay, for our parabola, when x is 0, y is 0. For our parabola, when x is 1/2, y is 1/4. Okay, so here's our point for the parabola. So we can see the line y equals x is higher. Okay, they intersect from 0, 1. So we do the higher minus the lower. The line x is higher, so x minus x squared. Okay, now you add 1 and divide. x2 over 2 and x3 over 3. Plug in the top number, so we get 1/2 minus 1/3. Plugging in 0 is just 0. 1/2 minus 1/3 is 1 over 6.